And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, Darren back with you here at Cross Timbers Farm. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles. Do a small short video here for our farm update for June 2023. Month's flying by, it's almost July. Our first cutting hay is done. Everything come out really well. We were not quite as pleased with our yield, but the quality, especially for first cut hay, was meets expectations or maybe better. It was good, very good hay. For first cutting hay, it was very leafy orchard grass, very thick in areas, very thin in areas in our main hay fields. Very soon we're going to be working on that. We have plans probably to fertilize in the coming week. And do some more spraying in our front area in a few places, spot spraying. But most of the first cutting hay is already gone from the farm or at least spoken for. We have very little hay left for sale from the first cutting, and we had a customer come today, a horse customer come and buy some bales of hay, and I anticipate that customer will be back for the rest of what we have. It's good hay, especially for first cutting. It's high quality first cutting hay. I still have some in the storage shed here that's already spoken for. It's already purchased by a long-time hay customer. Quite pleased with it. It's good hay. One update we have is the time we spent adjusting the cut height on our drum mower. Raising that cut height from 1 5/8 up to almost 4 inches has proven to be worth its weight in gold. If you're mowing with a drum mower, I strongly encourage you to look into raising that cut height. Contact your manufacturer, your sales representative, whoever you deal with and what company you use, and look in to see if they offer a lift cut height adjustment kit. We did that through Carver Equipment and bought a cut height adjustment kit. Paid huge dividends. The regrowth on our hay has been phenomenal. So much better than it was before. I'll take you out in the hayfield in a minute and show you our regrowth in our main hayfield. Plus our test plot hay is looking fantastic. We may get 3 cuttings off that this year. Normally here in the mountains and our elevation and our shorter growing season, we only get 2 cuts a year. I think in our test plot maybe get 3. We might, it's possible. It's growing like it's on steroids. It's unreal and fantastic quality too. But we've had some major changes go on here on the farm. I guess some folks has noticed some small things have been different. You know, you'll probably notice the Oberhasleys are no longer here. Without going into personal details, I'll just say that there's been some major health issues that has forced us to no longer be able to maintain our dairy herd. It's at this point our hay production is keeping us so busy that that's all about we can handle at this moment. And along, you know, with our poultry and things of that nature. But we've had some major health issues occur, and that has severely limited what we can take on. We've had to get some irons out of the fire, in other words. Bring things back down to a little bit slower speed for the foreseeable future. Life happens, life goes on, and nobody gets younger. Each day that passes, you're aging, and along with that usually comes some health issues along. And but you know, God's good all the time, and all the time God's good. He'll never put on us more than we can bear, so we've had to slim down a little bit, and all the hay we produce this year will be for sale, every bale. Right at the moment, we don't have the goat herd, and probably won't for the foreseeable future. It's just without going into any more details, and we'll just leave it there. Here on the farm, we like to share what we do, but we also like to keep some of our life personal. And we do covet and appreciate your prayers for the health issues that's going on in the family. So we appreciate that much. And in any event, everything's still great. Life's good. The hay's good. Let's take a quick look at the main hay field, and we'll take you a quick gander at the test plot to kind of give you an update on what's going on there and how it's looking. And we're pleased with it. It's going good. Okay, folks, our main hayfield here is regrowing like it's on steroids. The orchard grass right in here, I just went out there a moment ago. I don't have a ruler, but I stuck my hand down to the ground with my fingertip, and some of that orchard grass leaves was already almost up to my elbow. So, you know, it's went from 4-inch cut in 2 weeks, has went from 4 inches to probably 18 to 20 inches. It's been the regrowth has been fantastic. Very pleased. This is a real thick area of orchard grass, very little fescue in it. If you go further down the field down in there's a little more fescue, but most of this is orchard grass, and it is regrowing for a second cut phenomenal. And we're going to be fertilizing it probably in another week, which should really kick on the afterburners and the growth. So the main hayfields are recovering from our first cut. Fantastic. We're anticipating, especially with some fertilize going on in the next week or so, we are anticipating a phenomenal. Here's our test plot. Have you ever seen the beat of the red clover? Folks, the test plot is looking fantastic. Our frost seeding of red clover last winter has kind of been phenomenal. Mixed in with our orchard grass and what little bit of tall fescue is in here. It's unreal. The frost seeding worked phenomenal. And just take a look at this orchard grass. Now we just cut this not even a month ago. It's doing wonderful. We still have a few thin areas that we got to get more orchard grass going in, but the red clover legumes in this hay is thick as thieves. It's looking really good. Folks, the test plot is doing really good. I'm anticipating it's possible we could get 3 cuttings off this year. This is some of the leafiest orchard grass that I've personally ever had in our hay fields. It is fantastic. I mean, just the leaf content of this orchard grass is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Quite pleased with how this test plot's doing since the first cut. The first cut was really good. This second cut's going to be, this is some hay that you'd kind of like to enter into a contest. It's so good. Somewhere and win some kind of prize with it. I don't know, but it's doing phenomenal. Phenomenal. There's places of our orchard grass here in our test plot since our first cut that's already almost waist high, and then there's places that's barely over your ankles. We still got work to do in our test plot. The work never ends. The gnats this summer have been relentless, but we're looking forward to it. We're going to be cutting this again. You know, the weather will dictate it when we cut it again. But if it continues on this path, I would anticipate cutting this again in 4 weeks, maybe 5. We'll see. It's all weather dependent on the rain we get and the sunshine, and you never know. You could go into a drought. You could end up with just flooding going on, and you never know. God's in control of that. So whatever he sends our way, if things keep going the way they are so far for the summer, I anticipate cutting this again in 4 to 5 weeks. It's looking really, really good. We're going to be doing a little bit more fertilize on it, and it's awesome. If you're a hay person, this is awesome. As good as I've seen. In any event, we really appreciate you being with us here on the channel, and being with us here on the farm. You know, give y'all, it's been about a week or so since our last video, and a lot's went on, and want to give you a quick small farm update and a hay update for June, even though June's almost over. The size, one thing about this, the size of this red clover, and I like to go back to our farm store and find out what the brand this was. The size of this red clover that's in our test plot is huge. It's at some of the biggest leaves for red clover I've ever saw. And it's sweet. That actually tastes good enough to put in a salad. But in any event, we appreciate you being with us here on the farm for a quick update on the happenings on the farm. As I said earlier, due to some pretty serious health reasons, we've had to sell our dairy goat herd. They are now residing at a dairy in another state with some folks that I'm quite pleased that's where they went, because they were quality animals, and they're there now. And for the foreseeable future, I see no more dairy animals on our farm. Dairy animals are very labor intensive, and we know that. I mean, we've done it before, and we would have no problem still doing it. But the good Lord's decided to put the brakes on that with some health issues, and where that could just no longer be feasible for us. Hay is one of those things, when it's time to cut hay, it's labor intensive. But you have weeks and months of no intensive labor work other than fertilizing, just working with your ground, and you can kind of pace yourself at that. Dairy animals, twice a day, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, there's no break from it. And due to our health issues, we had to sit down and have serious discussion. And what's the matter, Oakley? We had to have serious discussion and make some serious changes if we want to keep the farm going. So we miss the Oberhasleys, but you know, you have to do what you have to do sometimes, and your health's the most important thing. So I do covet and appreciate your prayers for the health issues here on the farm. We're looking forward to our second cut. I think we'll be able to cut this again before you know it, it'll be here. Thanks for being with us here on the farm this evening. We really appreciate you stopping by our channel, and we really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our channel. God bless and have a good evening. One thing that has been on my mind, and if we have enough people interested, we might just do that. How many folks would be interested in a YouTube live, kind of a interactive Q&A session, maybe about mini brown balers, about hay production, about drum mowers, things of that nature, where small scale hay equipment enthusiasts, we could get together and actually set a time and a date and do a YouTube live broadcast where if you've got a camera hooked to your computer, where we could interact and ask questions and talk. And if you're interested in that, drop a comment below and give a thumbs up and say yes, I would be interested in attending that, and we might do a live session. So if that's something that interests you, and you're interested in small scale hay equipment and small scale hay production, we could get together and do some discussions. We might put some heads together and come up with a way to put gathering wheels on these mini round balers. Something, you never know what might come out of it. So if you're interested in that, drop a comment below and say yes, very interested, and we'll go from there.